everyone, welcome to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly Warhammer 40K tournament show rundown of the biggest and best tournaments coming out this weekend. We're going to be bringing it to you. We've certainly missed you. We have folks traveling. Folks are still traveling. Got a flurry of activity. That's because we are sometimes out there participating in the tournaments as well. My name is Paul Murphy. I'll be your host this evening. I'm joined by Dustin Henshaw.
Hello, everybody. Good to be back finally.
And while this is the wrong dead Primarch here to represent Adam
I wasn't about to go find the lion. That was not.
We're happy to have Sanguinius here with us. Good to see you, big guy. Adam, we certainly miss you. He'll be back next week. Wish him safe travels out there, everybody. Yeah. Chet, missed you terribly. Nurgle Matt, welcome to everybody in. Great KR. Erwin, drive careful. And anyone else is in the chat, thank you for joining us. I know it's been a bit. We're going to be back to normal, bringing you this stuff, hanging out each and every Thursday. If you're just joining us on the podcast aggregators, we do this live at 9 p.m. on Thursday night Eastern time to talk about these tournaments. We have two great tournaments to bring you this week. We have the Capital City Bloodbath with 74 players competing over 6 rounds. This is one that's been around for a while as well, I believe. Dustin, what are we going to see there?
Oh, for this one, this is I'm not going to say locally because it's 6 hours away, but it is in Canada and is one that I usually like to frequent.
For Texas, that could be local. That could still be in,
It's okay. We'll call it Texas local then. That's what we'll call it.
Okay,
right? All right. So for the Capital City Bloodbath, we will be seeing 2 Imperial Agents, 1 Sister of Battle, 2 Custodes, 4 Astra Militarum, 2 Grey Knights, 8 Imperial Knights. Then for the Space Marines, there's 5 Adeptus Astartes, 1 Dark Angel, 2 Space Wolves, 6 Blood Angels, and a Death Watch hero. Chaos is 2 Chaos Space Marines, 1 T-Sun, 9 Death Guard, 2 World Eaters, 1 Demon, 5 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 2 Necrons, 2 Orcs, 4 Tau, and 2 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 3 Tyranids and 1 Gene Stealer Cult. Then to round it all up, in the Eldari, there are 2 Drukhari and 4 Eldari. Meeting the faction podium is no real surprise. Death Guard topping off with 9. Imperial Knights right behind them with 8. But then Blood Angels taking the 3rd spot with 6. Not the Chaos Knights. So we might
surprise.
Oh yeah, no surprise to you, of course.
Yeah. Blood Angels take it to the Death Guard and Knights.
Yeah, that's true, actually. But Chaos Knights are still there. Like, we should give them an honorable mention. They're 5, so they're like just off the podium. So they're still well represented here. But Death Guard and Imperial Knights obviously taking the top spots. Even with the change now, for this one, the TOs have allowed people to use the new rules for the new points. Sorry, I should say, not the new rules.
That's good. That's really good.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
Anytime. So we were recording this, as I mentioned, live on Thursday. We got new points yesterday.
Yeah.
So folks are going to have to adjust. Like, the list won't look the same. And that's actually going to be my question: is like, are we talking about the future meta or is it the past meta? Turns out we're right on the bleeding edge of the future.
Right on the bleeding edge of the future. That's right. Everybody here wants to try the new stuff, right? They want to see if they still got the metal, or if this is the end of the road for the Death Guard, Imperial Knights, and Chaos Knights, which it's not. Let's be realistic.
That's what you want to see from balance. You never want to see somebody's faction eradicated. Exactly. You want to see it to where you feel like you've got a shot.
Yeah, but not like an insta win. Like that's what balancing is, and it's perfect. I think they may have hit it. We're going to see it in the meta the next couple of weeks. See how it pans out, though. So
nice. So we got a list to talk about too, right? So we're going to be talking about this is Nick Jagiello, 7th in this ITC Canada, bringing Astra Militarum of all things. Astra Militarum is one of those equalizers as well. So if some of those lists kind of get down a peg, and I can tell you though, Astra Militarum, given the right matchup, right table, can be a terror against a whole bunch of things out there right now. Nick rocking the Hammer of the Emperor, 2 Rogaldorn tank commanders with Calm Under Fire, 10 Cadians, 5 Rough Riders, 5 Death Riders, 2 Hellhounds, 1 Leman Russ Exterminator, 2 Leman Russ Vanquishers, 5 Rattlings, 2 Scout Sentinels, and then Canis Rex. Canis Rex is kind of hard not to take if you're playing Imperial.
Yeah, I feel like he should have allied points. Like, if he's taken as an ally, he should be a little more expensive. Because he is just so good to add.
You're bringing up a cool thing to talk about. That's a topic for like some other types of podcasts and that kind of stuff. But I think that type of flexibility with the points, like we see with like different points for rhinos and chaos spawns and that kind of things, you know. from your lips to somebody's ears out there. You never know, right?
But you can easily do it.
But Canis Rex is one of those equalizers. He punches, he shoots, he has a unique ability as far as like Sir Hector goes in there. So no, I guess it's not a surprise seeing him in a list like this. But what about those two Rogaldorns?
The two Rogaldorns, I don't think there's too much surprise there either, especially in Hammer, because they don't care about terrain. They can go through it, and they are going to be using WTC terrain for the Capital City Bloodbath. That's what I'm not pretty sure they are anyway. I might have to correct me, but near positive that all their tournaments are usually WTC terrain. So it makes it a lot easier for them to actually navigate the terrain, go through the walls, not care about that kind of stuff. The Hammer of Emperor is just good for the speed and mobility of all the tanks, and the Rogaldorns are just the most.
This is get them through the wall, right? They can get through the wall with Hammer there.
Through the wall,
that's
and
the big call out.
Shoot too.
Yeah. Calm Under Fire is a 15-point enhancement. Vehicle officer model only once per turn after the bearer that issues an order to a squadron unit from your army. It can issue the same order to another squadron unit from your army. So, you basically bumping up the efficiency of some of those tanks.
Getting an extra order in there. Then it's interesting actually seeing the Exterminator. That's not the autocannon one, is it?
It is the autocannon one, and I think it gives the like bonus to other things that shoot, right?
It's the bonus AP. I always get that one confused with the Executioner, which is the plasma one. So, but the Vanquishers, I've talked to Nick about this before, and it's literally he takes them because it's only the one shot. It's a really good like anti-tank shot. But he's like, yeah, if it kills something, great. But they're there because they're the cheapest Lehman Russ variant, and they're T11 2-up save body, right? In Hammer the Emperor. So they're actually just really helpful to have around.
Can't argue with that. Yeah, the Withering Hail in their shooting phase after this model has shot select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks made with the Exterminator autocannon until the end of the phase. Each time a friendly Astra Militarum unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit, improve the AP characteristic of that attack by 1. The same enemy can only be affected by this ability once per phase.
Yeah.
So just take one. And then everything else your army gets.
What do you want to die? What do you need extra AP against? Well, it's got it. There you go.
Yeah, same with the Hellhounds, same with the Sentinels. Yep. Like there's a lot of overlapping.
There's a lot of efficiency here.
Just get one hit, and the rest of your army gets a little bit better. I think it's kind of cool to see the Rattlings, and I haven't seen the Death Riders in a bunch of lists, but they seem to be gotten more popular over the last several weeks.
Definitely popular in Canada. I can tell you, like every single Imperial Guard player in Canada at least brings one squad of those. We love them here. We love our Mounties, right? The Mounties. That's what it is.
I expect to see some hats. Andrew, good to see you in chat as well. We have missed y'all. It is so great to be back talking about this stuff. Now is the point in the match between us, where we pick winners. We predict what faction we think is going to take the top spot in a singles event. It's got to be who's going to have the most victories throughout the course of the entire weekend. And I guess I should probably go first since you have home field advantage.
For this one, that's fair.
Although, am I still dominating the leaderboard? Is that why we froze me out for the last month? I wasn't able to pick anything?
For the last little while. Let me check what the actual.
I'm just messing with you, of course.
You're still winning, but it's not.
It's getting closer.
It's not a blowout.
Nice. All right. Well, so you have the home field advantage, so I will go with the first. Although Adam took Imperial Knights, I don't know.
Adam put himself down for Imperial Knights for all.
I don't know that that's right because he's a Dark Angel player, and we have rules around here.
He's breaking the rules just because you did all this data collection, Adam, on your vacation. Like, how dare you just take the first pick?
We got rules that it's not in the scrolls.
I don't know, man.
If you're talking about if you want to know what the outcome of this is, we will have a show we do in part 2, which will tell you how to get access to that later on. We'll see how we worked out this, but we'll put him down for now. And I have to go with Blood Angels. It's been too long. I can't not go with Blood Angels. I feel like Blood Angels punch really well into all of these lists that we've seen right here, and they got a good shot.
We do have some good Blood Angel players there, and I mean, I know he's taking a bit of a meme list, but I can't not pick Drukhari. Like, I have to.
Look, if that is friend of the show, Skari operating the Drukhari, it is hard to ever bet against him.
Yeah.
Has
He's
done great things.
he's bringing a meme. He's bringing 4 flyers. Like,
Okay.
so it could actually be incredible. You don't know. It's scary too. So
he's a player that can play from any position. It can certainly make some things happen. We've seen, just taking a list that is not in the limelight with some of these other lists and being able to contend with them on every level. So certainly a solid pick. Good to see it.
even if he doesn't win, he's got a podium. Like there's
Fair enough. I'm not going to say I'm not going to bet against him.
No, you shouldn't. That's right.
Yeah. Next event we're going to be talking about is the Utah Cup. This is in Farmington, Utah. That is in the U.S. U.S. of A.
US of A.
Yeah, in case you were curious. 108 players playing over 6 rounds. What is this? What's going to be the roster there?
So at this one, the Imperial Super Faction, there are 3 Sisters of Battle, 2 Custodes, 2 Adamec, 5 Astra Militarum, 1 Grey Knight, and 7 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 4 Adeptus Astartes, 3 Dark Angels, 4 Space Wolves, 5 Blood Angels, 3 Black Templar, and 4 Death Watch. Wow. Chaos, there's 4 Chaos Space Marines, 5 T-Suns, 9 Death Guard, 4 World Eaters, 2 Emperor's Children, 1 Demon, and 7 Chaos Knights. So matching the Knights point for point there. Xenos are 7 Necrons, 3 Orcs, 4 Tau, and 2 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 6 Tyranids and 2 Gene Stealer called. Literally double the numbers that were at CCBB. And then Eldari, there's 2 Drukhari and 3 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is once again Death Guard topping off with 9. And again, Imperial Knights in second with 7, but they are now tied with Chaos Knights and Necrons. And then Tyranids bringing up third with 6. So Necrons and Tyranids sneaking into this podium here. That's interesting.
Well, that's got to be the assault, right? Subterranean assault with the Tyranids. You think that's what holding them up?
Oh, buddy, that is such a fun detachment. To be honest, I still see, I think, half and half of Subterranean and Invasion, because Invasion is still the most well-rounded one, the in-depth one. But yeah, the Subterranean one has so much more fun tools to play with for Tyranids, and just reroll 1s army-wide is just, that's nice. I heard it's pretty good. It increases efficiency. And I will say, too, that Knights, like both brands of Knights and Death Guard, have historically been a pretty big predator for the Tyranids. Like, they've had not trouble dealing with them, but they're not going to be efficiently dealing with them. So them getting a bit toned down does bring Tyranids up a bit.
Let's talk about that for a minute. As things start to, I guess, become less efficient and other things stay the same, they're right there on the cusp that we're breaking in. What are some of the lists and factions you think that were being held down by the potential oppressiveness of those 2 or 3 armies, Chaos Knights, Imperial Knights, and Death Guard, that had maybe a higher than desired win rate?
I can tell you right now that, in my opinion, the one that has been held down the most by Death Guard, Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights, that trio is Emperor's Children. They had like a month where their power was just so strong because they could they were really efficient at killing into lead. They could kill anything efficiently except big knights. Big knights is the thing that they struggled to actually kill efficiently. Now that there's going to be less of them, because they can bring like a Mauler Fiend or 2 to be able to deal with 1 or 2. The problem is they can't trade efficiently in them, because they'll kill 1, then whatever kill that's going to die, right? And that's where they fall down when there's too many big knights. Now that they're dropping too many, or they should be dropping, I'd say like 3, 4 maximum. You see in them,
even 1 less big knight,
exactly,
is like, it changes the match dramatically.
It changes the matchup a lot, and for Emperor's Children, it changes it in their favor dramatically, because they will now have enough answers to deal with the few that they do have, and still have all the pieces they need to fight everything else in the meta like they already could.
Great points. What about Eldari? Eldari, there are only so many units of Fire Dragons you could take.
True, but they could usually do its efficiency because of their Fire and Fade, so they could kill them safely, so they could trade safely most of the time. If you built for anti-tank, the good thing about like with this kind of stuff dropping for Eldari is now they don't need to focus on too much anti-tank. They can bring a little bit less and still have all their MSU to deal with the other armies out there, because Eldari were suffering from we are MSU, but we need to take a majority of our MSU to kill knights because there's so many of them in the knight list right now, and we're going to run into them, right? So if they can start to tone down the number of Fire Dragons, the amount of Dark Reapers in their list, then they'll have more points to do other things if they want to. I still think the fire dragon, like you'll start to see like one big unit of fire dragons maybe in like every list, and then some dark reapers because they're just good. But it
like
helps your efficiency. Like it's the same thing we were just talking about. Dropping one big knight changes math for every other army in the game, pretty much. And it's the same for Tyranid, is why I'm saying that one, because even if you take like 2 Tyrannifexes, you pop out, kill one, maybe 2 knights before they both go down. But if they still have 2 more big knights, then you don't have any more Tyrannifexes. Like, okay, now it gets a little dicey. Gets a little dicey in zoanthropes. They die too. So knights have very good profiles to kill Tyranids.
And it doesn't seem to be slowing the Death Guard down with some of these changes either.
No. Like they'll lose like a 1 bloat drone and a Poxwalker unit in a lot of lists, generally speaking. And that's is it going to fundamentally redesign the list? I don't think so. Just reduce it by 2, maybe 3 units, maybe 3, depending on your build.
Which can be very extremely significant. So the drones, especially, they can sit back. They've got they supplement a lot of the things that the Death Guard are typically stat wise, like the trade-offs. Like they have good long range fire, they have good movement, basically some of the best movement in the Death Guard list. So it helps you overcome some of those weaknesses. And so if you have 1 or 2 less of those pieces that overcome the weaknesses, then weakness is probably too harsh of a word. The potential liabilities, the medium range and the shorter movement as those things that can that make you have to play in certain ways. Then you're having them to maybe rely on those other things that maybe your opponent gets instead of getting more kills out of it, they get an extra turn to play the game. Which that could be a big thing.
That is,
and I don't know that is going to be recognized in how people build their list, but we may see that how it plays out with how people end up playing the game, which is another style of balance.
Which exactly the balance of that one, it can make a huge difference, especially when we're talking about knights in the GW format. Because if you have 5 big knights that can step on the terrain and see through it no matter what, that changes the math when you have 1 less big knight being able to do that, right? That changes the math dramatically because 1 knight is a lot of shooting. So if you're talking about shooting knights. So the Death Guard, the same thing. Maybe you need to push more to playing the game instead of pushing to table them. Maybe that's how they have to change.
Top player in attendance here is going to be Ben Jurek, 8th in the ITC, taking Chaos Knights. So we've seen do a lot of work with Knights over the last several months. Here, taking an Infernal Lance, 1 Atropos, 3 Despoilers, all the Gatling guns. What is it? Yeah, always say all Gatling all day.
Gatling all day.
Like, oh, you needed some bullets? We brought some bullets. 2 Carnivores, 10 Plague Bearers, and then a Rodigus. Rodigus been a rock star. Rodigus has been almost like the Chaos Canis Rex.
He is the 5th knight. He is the 5th big knight in the Chaos for sure.
Rolling Thunder.
What?
Like a big old ball of flesh and phlegm.
All right.
He can zap people, so it's
yes, you're not wrong. He can zap people. Like, it actually does help. It helps some matchups are just clearing because he can Overwatch, can't he? Because he's not Titanic, and he's
Rodigus can,
yeah. That's a decent flamer. Like that's something that the Chaos Knights generally lack is a good Overwatch threat, right? And Rodigus is durable, so he's basically another big knight with a good flamer. The -1 OC is nothing to sneer at either. So Flabby Thunder. Yes, there we go. Flabby Thunder. I like that. We'll go with that, KR. Good one.
But so seeing the great unclean ones make their way into a lot of lists. And this is actually, not to take us on a sidetrack, but, actually kind of, we got I can't remember if it was in this chat or at another one, but, talk about how Fulgrim's base size and how it feels like he's sometimes a little bit too much to get into certain spaces or whatever. But yet nobody seems to have a problem getting the great unclean ones into the right spot. So, is it because they're slipping and sliding through the cracks?
Maybe.
Same base size. I'm just saying there's options out there. There's different options, different things, and I'm talking about this specifically in the light of changes is like what becomes better and more more of an idea to bring into lists that weren't there before. So
we're seeing it here, the actual drop of the 5th big knight, right? In favor of Rodigus now, but focusing on the 3 shooting knights instead of going more into the melee ones, right? And I think that makes sense because, like I was saying, the shooting is what makes the big difference with the knights right now, with the big knights because of their line of sight rules.
Yeah.
So I think losing like the melee ones does make the most sense. But now it gives them a bit of a weakness to these armies that can get up in their face and deal with them in close combat. That's a problem now. You can't just have these lancers
some carnivores.
Yeah, exactly. Lancers, carnivores, whatever you need to be in there.
Rodigus. But this list 2 weeks ago had 3 Atroposes.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is we're seeing some changes here, which is got to make your opponents feel like they've got a little more agency in the game, which is nice.
Yeah,
but still a lot of power here, and of course
Yeah.
piloted by a great general. And so what we've seen also, we're talking about, of course, list composition and terrain types and mission types. But the way the game is now, like, it really seems to reward great generalship and great play. And then these tweaks just are going to further accentuate that. So, keep an eye out there.
So we want.
I got another player to talk about.
We
got a Tau. Yeah. Durante Bonzini, 18th in the ITC, playing Tau. Going with Callion. 1 Shadow Sun, 10 Breachers, 10 Kroot, 10 Pathfinders, 2x3 stealth suits, 5 Vespid. Dustin, tell me what a Vespid does.
Hey, aren't they the uppy downy version that they have? They're actually decent little jump pack units.
2 Krutox Riders, 2 Piranhas, 3 Riptides, a Hammerhead, 2 Skyrays, and a Devilfish. The parking lot. It is the Fish of Fury.
You just want to take everything.
Again. Yeah.
And then 3 Riptides.
Yeah. No, yeah. And 3. No, there's a lot of
this list right here. A lot of list.
A lot of shooting, a lot of shooting aggression that I don't know that everybody's used to seeing right now from a list like this.
No, the one Hammerhead I've started to see pop up in a lot of Tau lists is probably their Night Answer. But I don't know if it's consistent enough. The Riptide's probably better at it, right? They're actually, you know what? The Ghost Keel's not bad. It's got some nice meltas on it. This thing has a lot of shooting that can kill that. Let's face
That's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of power right here,
and
mobility. So this is actually going to compete in 2 phases of the game, where Tau typically are like that's just the shooting army. They're just only going to compete in the shooting phase. No, this is going to compete in the movement phase. It seems like it's going to score objectives, and it's got some power in the shooting phase.
Yep, it does have that. It's going to be a good list. I like it. I like it a lot.
This is one of those to where you look at lists like this, and this seems to be as a result of someone that has taken a lot of time with this faction to figure out what in the codex is going to give them some advantages. And that's why you see units like Krutox Riders creeping into things. That's why you see sometimes I see why you see ATVs making it into first place list on the Space Marine size, because they're taking it for utility. What can they do? How do they compete with the objectives and win the game?
Yep. No, exactly. That's why I like
fireworks.
The specialists bringing out their list, because you see a lot of things you might not see in other ones, and some synergies you might not have thought of either.
Anything jump into your mind right now on this?
No, just like I was saying, I like the combination of having everything here. I do still think Riptides are the most consistent piece they have because of their versatility and durability. So I like seeing 3 of them again. I've always rated them pretty high. But I'm not a Tau player, so I don't take my word for
that. So something jumped out at me. We talked about the Ghost Kill, you talk about his weapons, but it's also got a very powerful defensive ability. The Ghost Kill has the stealth drones twice per battle. After an attack has been allocated to this model, you can change the damage characteristic of that attack to 0. 0.
Got a blank, double blank.
Yeah. Which can be incredibly strong. That buys you a turn. Talk about trying to squeeze an extra turn out of the game.
I'm pretty sure it's lone op too, isn't it?
As far as it's lone operative, infiltrator, stealth. Yep.
Yeah, a big giant mobile suit that is lone op and 2 blanks. Like that's annoying to shift. That is really annoying to shift.
Yeah. And look at that. The Triptide is still scary. I think it is. Like, some of us also have that kind of like a vestigial memory.
Yeah, for sure.
Of what it was, all the Nova charges. And
we have baked in trauma from it for sure. Like there's times where those triple tide was. I'm going back to even like the triple tide with Wraith Knights, but that's a 7th edition thing. We're not going to talk about that. They're still strong. They're still very versatile. And like I said, they're durable. They're not consistent to kill. They can do a lot for the Tau, and they're not bad in speed either.
Tau finished 2nd in Denver with an almost 100-player event, 6 rounds. That is, again, we've seen Tau do really well, especially in the hands of specialists. And then maybe the game's in a state now, maybe they can shine. Let's see what happens, especially terrain types. Missions also matter a whole lot.
Yeah,
Time to pick a winner.
Okay. Do I get to pick first this time?
Yeah, go for it.
I am gonna. Yeah, I'll go Chaos Knights. Let's go Chaos Knights.
Chaos Knights. I'm going Death Guard. Death Guard cannot be stopped.
Cannot be stopped. Will not be stopped.
No, not in Utah. It's not happening. So only 2 events for us to cover this week. So we're going to jump into the silly segment here in just a second, but I do want to mention, I talked about that part 2 of the show. Part 2 of the show is for our Patreon subscribers, tier 2 and above. Every tier is amazing, by the way. If you support us on Patreon, we really love it. It takes a lot of effort and work to put this show together. But for tier 2 and above, we do a follow-up show, a recap show from the show past, where we talk about the winners of the event, the list that won, the top 10 factions. We also give each other a lot of shade about our predictions and how close we came or didn't come, is the case maybe sometimes. But it's a fun little additional bit of content if you're interested in that. Of course, over on Patreon, there every tier is amazing, but we really appreciate anybody who chooses to join us over there. If that's not something that you're able to do or in the cards right now, come here and chat with us. We have an amazing chat community here at 9 p.m. Eastern time when we kick this off live. Some great folks in here. Love to have the company. Love to talk about Warhammer and get y'all's feedback and opinions too. If you're going to the events that we cover, I also want to hear if you can call. You're brave enough to come call your shot in the chat. That is also fun to talk about. And don't forget to subscribe. If you made it this far, you might dig this type of content.
Maybe.
And so hitting that subscribe button and a like is completely and totally hassle free. That is also awesome. Typically, sometimes we'll cover 3 events, sometimes 2. Sometimes we'll do special event segments. Next week, we're going to do a WTC, which is the World Team Championship. Recap episode. We're going to be talking a lot about the coverage from the national teams, the teams that have we'll talk about how they do their selections and why they do selections and the competition itself. We're going to be doing that next week, in addition to some other of our normal weekly flair of content. And then if you're just joining us, we do a segment here in a second called the Fuego Rapido. Sometimes this has extremely little to do with Warhammer, and I will tell you, right now, this segment will also have extremely little to do with Warhammer, as we are going to be ranking the best video game of all time. Now, we're doing that through a series of categories. We're going to be ranking the video games for. Are we still choosing what populates the categories?
We still have a couple more categories to get through before we actually start the tournament. So today's category that we're going to be populating is the.
And this is where chat. Y'all can help. Live chat.
Yes,
y'all can help with this.
Because
we're gonna list out 16,
or
maybe a couple honorable mentions just in case. I'll probably drop some honorable mentions. It never fails. After we get done with these, I think of a couple more, and I promise to throw them in the Discord that we have. Yeah.
So we're gonna do the arcade games this week because I'm pretty sure Adam wasn't too keen on wasn't too sure which ones to add into this. So. And you were the one that convinced us to have this one because there was a lot of games we couldn't really categorize outside of it is an arcade game. So it's your chance, Paul. This is your chance to fill up all of these. And
all right. Yeah, they're
get us started.
Yeah. Well, the X-Men game that you play four players.
That's
another 4-player game, Gauntlet.
Yeah, gotta put that one in there. Okay.
Throwing a lot of quarters in the Gauntlet. Centipede with the trackball.
Whoa. Okay. I mean, you have to.
Street Fighter. Who remembers
putting the quarters? No. We can't do Street Fighter. We have 2 Street Fighters and fighting games already.
Oh, Tekken.
That's fighting games.
Look, I'm telling you, when you roll up there and you put your quarter on the glass, waiting for it to be your turn to jump in.
It's true.
That's a memory. That's a memory.
That is a core memory for sure. But fighting games, still, like the Street Fighter, is still covered. Don't worry about that.
Fine.
We have to have Pac-Man in there, don't we?
fine. I played Street Fighter one time to where you actually like they had the controller and then 2 plunger buttons where you had to hammer down on it. This is Street Fighter.
Yep.
Street Fighter 1 with just Ken and Ryu.
Yep.
And the harder you hit it was the heavy, light, and medium punches and kicks.
Times. Good times. Are we putting in Pac-Man?
Okay, so I gotta yeah, we have to put in Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Tron is also great. Okay, so Demek Boy, I have to have a conversation about this.
Okay,
because Dragon Slayer, but I think you probably mean Dragon's Lair. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dragon's Lair and
Dragon's Lair, yeah.
So those games, when they came out, were 50 cents a piece, and they had false leads in there. You had you were guaranteed to die and probably waste your 50 cents during the course of your playthrough. The only way to know that the alerts were traps were to fall for it, and for that reason, I'm disqualifying them.
You're just saying it was a scam.
50 cents in that time period was a lot. That's a lot. That's double what it was.
In my day, you see.
But then it made you like there's no way to know.
Yeah. No, I got
it. Look, you can overrule me, Dustin.
No. I'm down with that because that game. The problem was that it looked so good. So like you're going to, oh, look at that, like the animation stuff. Then you play it, like what happened? I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I just paid 50 cents and nothing happened.
But I'm back on board with the Star Wars arcade where you sat down and you could. They had something to use stand up. I think there was like a Pizza Hut I went to that had to stand up. But someone had to set like one of those big. You'd sit down in it and you could,
you do like the Battle of Hoth and stuff. That one's awesome. I love.
No, this is before Battle of Hoth, but we'll go with.
That was so good though. I like that one. Well, there's another one I just thought. Double Dragon. You got to get
Double Dragon.
Golden 100%. Axe.
So like Altered Beast is one I think we talked about as well.
Golden Axe and Altered Beast. I think because did we put that somewhere? I think we were waiting to put it here specifically.
I think Altered Beast was a more arcade game than.
Just making sure we didn't put it like platformers or something. Yeah, I think they're good there. Yep. Okay, cool. Altered Beast is in. We got Golden Axe. There's some other fighter ones like that I want to make sure, like Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles has to be in there. Ninja Turtles is great.
Ninja Turtles. Yeah, X-Men's going in there. Oh, the Simpsons one. The Simpsons one.
I don't know if I played that one.
Really? It was another.
I'm aware of it though. I'm aware of it for sure.
It was another Konami game. Like we have at least 4 Konami games in here. That's
the 4-player D&D game. I can't remember the name of that.
Yeah, what was that called? I was gonna put Dungeons and Dragons, and that
was really good. God, yeah. I mean, there's so many games that I've just hemorrhaged quarters into.
We could probably need to narrow it down a little bit, but I'm putting the Simpsons one in there because I think that was fantastic. Still is. I
remember being dropped off at the mall with a roll of quarters and be like, "Yep, see you when I see you." You know.
Yeah, I was happy. I was absolutely happy doing that. I know we're missing some important ones. Asteroids. Yeah, that one should probably go in there too.
It's like Centipede and Space Invaders. Like I think we put Centipede on there, but Space Invaders, if it's not, should definitely be on there.
Yeah.
Things like Dig Dug.
Oh, that was an arcade game first. I played it on my Commodore.
Yeah, it was definitely an arcade game. I mean, there's so many games like that do jump out, like Burger Time. They're not going to be on the best of all time.
No, we got to get the best of all time. We might wait to start narrowing this down because we're at 14 already. So we got to make sure we're not.
Well, some of them, like my first play of Super Mario Brothers, was in a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, same with me in like Mortal Kombat, right?
Oh, Paperboy and 720. 720, I think, is probably got to be on there. Skateboard game.
Oh, really? I never played that one in the arcade.
Yeah. Crazy Taxi. Time Crisis.
Time Crisis. Yeah, we got to put one of those games on there for sure. Time Crisis or Virtua
Time Crisis is probably the best of those.
Yeah.
Certainly the first, I think.
Was it? I think Virtua Cop came before that.
Look, I'm fine to put whatever.
Time Crisis is better, but we're talking about the first one then. We'll put the Time Crisis for sure.
Okay, Time Crisis then, because I thought it was the first, but maybe because it is the best.
I think Virtual Cop was before, but either way, Time Crisis is better. So we'll. I just need to give that honorable mention. We're already maxing here, so we might need to start cutting something. I feel like we're missing something. Paperboy. It's another good one. 720. The skateboarding game. Well, actually, that should go into the sports because we need to fill up sports. Racing and sports is 721. Yeah, the skateboarding one. That makes sense to you?
As far as the space skateboard, 720 was better to me, but maybe.
No, I mean, maybe put it into the sports games category.
I didn't think. Are we having a sports game? Because it's like FIFA.
It's racing,
it's FIFA, wrestling.
Sport. That's why we got to make sure we have.
There's only like four. There's like 4 franchises that are good, and everything else is copies of them.
Put it in there so we don't remember.
All right.
Because we already back like 1, 2, 3, 4.
So
5, 6.
Galaga was certainly an archetype, and probably one of the. I would play Galaga today. Like
I would play it
if I saw it. Yeah, Galaga has to be on the list.
Okay, that's already 16 now with Galaga.
Yeah, so Frogger's great.
Frogger, we need to replace them if we're going to put Frogger in.
Oh well, we'll whittle the list down in Discord.
Okay. This is crazy. They were actually getting more on this than like JRPGs. Frogger. What else we got? There's another one. The Arkanoid. It's the one with the ball bouncing, breaking blocks.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's in the best.
I love that. I still play that, but I'm old. We counting pinball for arcade? I mean, we wouldn't put it anywhere else.
I don't know how we wouldn't, but there's just so many pinball machines.
We just have to put like pinball.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Tommy pinball machine. There's a new X-Men pinball machine, which is absolutely freaking amazing.
Of course, you think
it is actually it's like playable. It doesn't it's not one that just automatically just you sync the ball and it seems to have a maybe it has tuned this way in the arcade that I've played it in, but it seems to be somewhat forgiving when the game knows it's doing something it shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Missile Command, so like the worm style one, that was always good. I enjoyed that.
Missile Command, yeah.
Yeah, I'll put that one in there. I know we're missing some. I know we are.
Oh, there have to be.
But it's okay. That's why we have an extra category specifically, so we can fill out things we forgot.
Rampage.
Oh, Rampage! How can we forget that? See, I knew we'd forget it. That one's got to be there. That game is incredible. I'm like going through my childhood when I was walking through the arcade.
We do it. We have Ghosts and Goblins on another list, right?
We have to. It's got to be the platformer.
I think it's on the platformers.
I'll just bring it up here to make sure. Ghosts and Goblins has to be here. Yeah,
because that's another one that I remember riding my bike to a laundromat to play that game.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely on there. I mean, we've already maxed this out, so now we're just getting greedy, but I don't want to miss anything. I think those are the main ones that I usually. There's a couple like odd ones that are similar, like the Maximum Carnage Spider-Man Venom game, but it's just like another Streets of Rage kind of style. So
I'm trying to think, it was Spy Hunter. Really enjoyed oil slicking, and playing like
Spy Hunter was pretty fun.
It played that 8-bit, clearly not James Bond music while you were playing.
It wasn't James Bond. It was Peter Gunn.
No, I meant the in the arcade game would play the music that was like similar to
it was Peter Gunn.
Magic. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll put Spy Hunter up here. I remember that game was great. Yeah, Peter Gunn.
Oh, the Meg Boys got it figured out.
Yeah, see?
Appreciate that. Yep. Look, I believed you.
Yeah, but hey, at least Mech Boy knows. He knows he's got my back.
So we've gone over the limit. I think that's good.
I think it's good.
We may not be done. We might be done.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to think of some more. I know there's gonna be more than every time we do this. about 10 minutes after the show, Paul starts posting stuff in the Discord of what he forgot.
Yeah,
So
it's just what got forgotten. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Whew. Look, it's going to be a little bit of a short show this week. We only had 2 events to cover. We'll be back to, I think, the normal run. Normal run in addition to the recap of a big old tournament that Adam was at. And we certainly want to hear what's going on with that. It's great to be back. I really appreciate hanging out and getting to talk about Warhammer with you, Dustin. I didn't realize how much I missed it.
Right? I kept asking myself, like, what am I doing on Thursday when I'm not talking to Paul and Adam about Warhammer? I feel lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I need this. I need my hobby talk here.
This brings us into it. So now you know. Yes, there have still been Warhammer tournaments happening over the course of these last several weeks. There really have been. We know it. We know it. And now we're going to be back to talking about it. If there's an event you want to see covered, make sure you let us know. Leave some comments down in the bottom of this video. Let us know if you've been working on anything. Have you been working on any hobby stuff in between these episodes that we've had? What have we missed going on with y'all? That's what I want to know in the comments if you can. Chat, wonderful hanging out with y'all. Thank y'all for joining us here. I will not be at Nova, but there will be some coverage from Nova. So you will see there will be coverage from that big event. More on that. We'll talk about a little bit more of that next week as well. Can't wait to tell you what's happening there. I will be for the other events that are coming up later on. So talking about that as well. But there's a bit of a staycation for myself and my family happening here that's got me here close to home, but looking forward to it. Anyway, chat, love y'all very much. Have absolutely missed y'all. Cannot wait to be back to this with regularity. Thanks for sticking with us and thanks for coming and join us. Everybody out there in the podcast aggregators know where to find us. We're back, everybody.
We're back.
See y'all next week.
We'll see you next week.